Welcome to the full inspection. To begin, I'm going to start by lighting my smoker. I get this nice and hot. Smells good. The birds are chirping. Beautiful sunny day. Perfect for an inspection. There we are. So what I start by doing is using a bit of smoke at the entrance. In this hive, they're actually using the top entrance, so I'm just going to smoke that a little bit. Now I can start doing this strap. There we go. And remove the hive cover. This particular hive survived the winter, so it still has its little toque, its styrofoam top. So I'm just going to remove this. Oh, it's a little stuck. See if we can do it. It's a little stuck. Ah, that's why. There's a bit of fondant here. That's why I was so stuck. Okay. So now what I want to do, add a bit of smoke here. Let the bees know I'm coming. I'm going to remove the cover. This was so easy to remove because Alex and I have been filming videos every week, so the bees haven't had a chance to kind of re-propolis or put more propolis back on the inner cover. I'll be cleaning this inner cover later. And now I want to go inside the hive and find eggs. Eggs are the most important thing you want to find while doing a complete inspection. What do eggs tell you? Well, they tell you that they tell you that there's a queen and she's laying. So if you find eggs, it means that the queen laid either today or in the last 3 days. When you find larvae, it means that she laid an egg 8 days ago or less. And if you find capped brood, well then you know she was laying an egg 10 days ago. So if you find all stages of brood, it basically means that you had a queen for at least 2 weeks. We visit hives every 3 weeks, every 21 days. So we really want to make sure that there's no break in the brood. So if you find egg, larva, and capped brood, and then also emerging bees, you know that for 3 full weeks, there's been a queen. And that kind of gives you a guarantee that there wasn't any swarms. And then, of course, it takes 21 days for an egg to become a bee, so it's kind of a convenient cycle. If you get glued into what a 3-week cycle looks like, it's also how long it takes for a bee to be born. It's kind of cool. So I'll start by taking out some frames using my hive tool. And we always want to start, actually maybe I'll zoom in here. Sec. Let's see. So I'm going to start by taking out this second frame, and I don't want to start using my hive tool like this because then I'm going to break the wooden box. I want to come wedge my hive tool in below where the rim is, and then do that on the other side, and do it here and here. And that will allow me to remove this frame. These bees have been played with, as I was saying, like every week, so all of these frames are pretty easy to take out. But normally they'd be pretty waxy around here, and you're gonna have to kind of fight to get them out. But you want to be fighting, but also working pretty slowly so you're not squishing bees. We're like very late April, and this is probably like the first or maybe third day that the bees have been able to fly. That's why they're flying so much. But what's fun is they're flying only to just orient. They're not really in a stingy mood. So I haven't been stung yet, which is nice. Here is a frame of bees, but no brood. So as I said, I'm really focusing in and trying to find eggs. You can see that the bees are more focused over here. This is probably where our queen's going to be too. And it's where I expect all the eggs and brood to be. They were given a box that second box underneath the hive. It's called under-supering a hive. And here you can see, well, actually you can't see it yet, but I'll show you. They haven't really moved down yet into that bottom box, but and it's just because it's too cold so far. But here we're starting to see capped brood, but no eggs. So once I've removed four frames, there's no real reason to keep removing frames out of the box. I can take them out, but then just place them back in right away. Kind of like this. So on this frame we have the queen. You can notice the queen by her longer abdomen. Hopefully, a bit of a zoom. I'll let you see if you can find her. Is that a focus? You can see there. Just need to... There we go. Beauty. Now I'm gonna just peer in here to all the cells, and yes, I see one egg per cell, so that's great. Our queen's laying. We're coming out of winter here, so there's not too much brood. There's probably 3 or 4 frames with brood on them, but there's no it's still progressing. They're just beginning to grow. Okay, so we'll keep going. In the height of the season, we're looking for queen cells too. So now that I found eggs, it's a bit of a secret, but I was also looking for queen cells all the way through. Queen cells show the beekeeper that the hive or colony is trying to replace its queen. So it's not a good sign when you see queen cells. It means that there's something about to happen. Whether it's a swarm or that the old queen is not productive enough, queen cells are a sign that the bees are not happy, or that they're too happy and they want to swarm. I'm not really expecting any queen cells in this hive because it's a little too small and we're too early in the season. You still get the feel for it. There's a lot of bees. And yeah, this is your fun inspection. This is kind of a leftover frame of honey from last year that they didn't end up using in the end. This is pretty heavy. This is like a good 5 pounds. And yeah, this will just come in handy if ever they need it, or we get a week of rain, we'll be able to use it. So now I'm going to reassemble, but put everything back the way it was. There we are. One of these frames is misbehaving. There, that one wasn't completely lined up. And then I'll do a little zoom here. You see, I had my frames stacked in order. So now I can just replace the frames. I can't really get confused about where they were because they were stacked up that way, so I can just do the reverse, which I'll do right now. So I haven't gotten stung yet, which is kind of cool, and I haven't been using that much smoke. They seem to just be happy that that the sun's out, and that they can finally fly after this long winter. Now, I get this last frame in. I'm gonna do two more things. I'm gonna be just cleaning off this inner cover because it's full of wax and stuff. And then the other thing I want to do is show you what the bottom box looks like that they haven't actually gotten to yet. So I'm just going to take this top box off. And I'm going to show you what an under-supered hive that hasn't been gotten to by the bees yet. But they'll get there. So there's a bunch of bees flying. Now maybe we can go over here. Let's get this set up here. Now I'll show you how to clean off this inner cover. So see, there's bees on both sides. A bit of sugar candy on this side. Just gonna bang this in front of the hive, and all the bees will go to the ground, which will then allow me to work without squishing any bees. I can really clean off this inner cover. Actually, what I should be doing, I don't want to leave a mess on the roof, especially if you're at a client's site. You'd want to do this into the outer cover, so the wax is easier to pick up. You don't get rocks in the wax. So here, just for example's sake, this more. It's a bit of an older inner cover, starting to click. There, we just want to get all this wax out, keep things clean. On this side, we're going to keep this sugar. And now I can easily put this back on without squishing any bees. So, zooming in here. I can place this right back like this. And there's a lot of confused bees here on the box. They're really wondering where their entrance went. So once I start reassembling the hive and making it look like it used to look, they're going to be able to quickly get back in. So I'll start just by placing this, which will hopefully give them some visual cues. And then when the outer cover comes on, which I'll clean up. This is my pile of wax and wood. Gotta make sure there's no bees on top here, and quickly I put this back on. Hopefully they get a better idea.